Okay, so the reason that I hold it from the bottom
Yeah.
is because if you hold like this bit, it heats up the wine too much.
I hate it so much. But my
It's
question,
just the way I do things.
but my question on that one is, isn't red wine supposed to be like lukewarm?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like room temp, I guess. But I don't want to heat it up any more than that. I'm not trying to sour this wine. I say that like it's good wine. It's literally like the £6 bottle, like Campo Viejo or whatever it's called.
The only amount you should be spending on a bottle of wine. If you spend any
No.
more than like £7, you're a fucking chump.
Man, let's not go there. I've spent so much money on wine. Like, even in the small amount of time that I've been drinking again, like, I've spent ridiculous amounts on, like, good bottles. You
What's
know, like
the
a nice
what's the
bottle.
most you've spent on a bottle of wine since you started drinking again?
It was a reasonable £24. It was good. It was like some fucking like pet nat wine, so it was like naturally fizzy, some natural fucking bullshit. I can't remember what it was called. It was called like Astral Pig or something. It was
Astral Pig.
dynamite. Yeah, it was really good. I enjoyed it.
But did you enjoy it any more? Did you enjoy it? How I can't do the maths right now. You said 20 whatever. So the difference between a £6 bottle of wine and the 20 whatever pound bottle of wine, was there that much more of an enjoyment out of the two? Because you're
Yes.
still going to sit there and you're still going to wolf that bottle of wine down in front of me.
No. That's the difference because it is so expensive and like the way that the vineyard makes it. It makes you not want to fucking guzzle it down because it's like a proper fancy bottle.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
You're like, I'm not gonna.
you turn
I'm not gonna.
so much more European depending on how expensive the bottle of wine is.
Yeah, but like on a Sunday I like to treat myself to a nice like bottle of table cider, like some like real nice stuff, and it's like 17 quid a bottle.
Yeah.
And it's like no bigger than any other bottle of cider. It's like I don't know what, like fucking, like a glass bottle,
Yeah.
a big glass bottle.
Yeah.
But the reason I do that is because it just, you don't want to wolf it down, but you know you get like a nice wee buzz at the end of it, and you're like, delish.
Time
I
for
don't know.
bed.
Yeah, you know me. Like I appreciate the way things are made, and I appreciate the effort people go through to
Yeah.
allow me to live out this really pretentious life that I have.
It is
You know?
No, it is a fantasy. It is not a life. You live in a fantasy.
I live in a fantasy. I do. In my head, I'm some sort of like really fucking well-spoken, well-worded, well-travelled, well-cultured, struggling writer. You know, like that's it. That's what's going on in my head.
Like-
When in reality, I just like expensive bevy, and sometimes I write words that are alright.
All you do is you just wish you were in like a fucking Ernest Hemingway novel. That's what you're doing. You're trying to live
That's
that
it.
life.
Never read any Ernest Hemingway. Otherwise, I would try and like be a total wank and like quote it, but I can't. So maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll start reading the classics. I've tried to read like Jack Kerouac on the road like 40 times,
Yeah.
and I get to I like. It's fine, you know. It's a good story. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I've never finished it, but the reason I've never finished it is because it takes the cunt about 40 minutes to describe what the stars look like. And like, man, just say the stars were out. You know, like I tried to read like a guy couldn't Latin. What was his name? Like Vladimir Nabokov or something. Like he was like another one of these like classic writers.
Right.
And I was trying to read. He had like 13 short stories or a dozen short stories or something in this book.
Right.
And I tried to read it and never got by the first one because again he spent maybe 3 or 4 paragraphs describing what a hotel balcony looked like, and I was just like, man, get on with it. Like, what happens?
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to know how like flowery and like whatever the fucking like balcony looked like. Just
Yeah.
tell me, do you get the girl? You know, like that's what I need to know. I need to know, do you get the girl? I don't care about anything else.
Do you get your dick wet? That's all I'm here
Yeah,
for.
exactly. Are you getting skin back? You know, like that's what I need to know.
You are going to jail soon. You know that? Like for the words
I'm going
that
to
you say,
jail.
for the words that you say, you're actually going to be arrested. Going to get skin back. Unbelievable. Anyway, hello. Welcome
Hi.
to episode 11 of Dead End Friends. This has already been 5 minutes, and we've not even introduced ourselves. My name is Craig Jimison, and with me is my half-cut boy.
Oh, Gary Gordon. I'm not half cut. I'm just chilling, you know. It's been a Thursday.
It's been a Thursday, a singular Thursday.
I'm on my way, you know.
Right,
But I'm not there. I've not arrived at the destination.
you're on the way to merriment.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling loose. Ask me anything. See what happens. Who knows?
You've put me on the spot now. I don't have anything for you.
Well, your time is up. No point in going back to that.
Unfucking believable. I mean, you fucking chimed in right away as soon as this call started, and just the reason we're now have talked about wine for so long, even though it's the worst, is I had to watch you picking up the wine glass and being so confused with what your hand was doing. I think do it again. Look at that.
There you go.
Look at that. Like
Yeah.
you almost come across as regal.
It's a prop. Imagine this, right? I'll set the scene. It's a smoky night. The cigarettes are making the room look nice and smell kind of weird because of cigarettes. Here we go. There's a gentle buzz, you know. There's conversation everywhere. You look across the room, you see me. And I'm holding court, you know. I'm talking. I'm letting the people know what's happening in the world. From my perspective. They're not interested. But for whatever reason, they stick around. So I'm using this glass and I'm just like pointing at people. I'm just like, yeah, you know, I really think that guy's a pedophile, but you know, no one's ever gave me any sort of evidence. I just have this feeling about him. And you know, I'm never usually wrong about these things. But the glass has got your attention the entire time. You didn't look at me once. You looked at the glass the entire time. And I know you did.
Yeah, I looked at the
It's a-
glass the entire time because there's a high spill factor involved in that. You're flapping that thing around like it's a fucking flag.
Didn't spill a drop. Didn't spill a drop.
Would never.
But now you're hypnotized. You're suckered in. You can't help but listen to the bullshit I'm about to spew. You know?
I've been listening.
just how it
I've
is.
been listening to the bullshit for like 11 years. You don't need to sucker me
You
in.
have.
I'm already suckered in. I asked you to do a fucking podcast with me. That's so gross. It's so gross. Anyway, wine is the worst, and let's move on from wine, because I can't do it. It's horrible. Man,
Okay.
I found today, I was just doing my usual flicking through the Instagram and shit, and I found what I think could be the funniest video that has ever existed on the internet, right?
Oh my god.
You don't need to see it to appreciate how funny it is. It's just what the guy's saying in this video. But I laughed for like 14 minutes straight. This just killed me so much. So it's just a bald guy with a beard with headphones on just talking, right? It's not very long. But this fucking destroyed me.
Think about somebody.
Oh, dude, you're so loud.
Try this. Think about somebody. Someone that comes to your mind right now. Okay? Is there someone in your mind? Think about that person. Hold the image of them in your mind. In your mind, send them good fortune, send them happiness, and send them blessings. Did you try that? Now, I'm going to predict something. If you just did that, your life is going to be better, your next thought. You're going to be at a higher frequency. Try this. Someone that comes to your mind right now. Okay? Someone in your mind.
What kind of fucking hippy dippy bullshit is that?
If you think about a person, put a person in your brain, think about that person, send them good fortune and good blessings, and you will be functioning at a higher frequency. Okay. This guy's huffing so much glue, it is unbelievable.
I hope that guy is listening to me or thinking about me and instantly wants to give me £10,000 because that's the only way I'm gonna be feeling on a higher frequency. You know, I'm not gonna think about someone and be like, have all these good thoughts, and then just be like, my next thought's gonna be a good one.
Yeah. That's also, man, the thing that blew my mind, right, is this guy's obviously trying to sell it as like, let's make the world a better place. Let's all love each other and make the world a better place. But how fucking, at the end of the day, how fucking selfish is that? I'm going to send you good fortune. I'm going to send you these blessings because I deserve more. I deserve to be on a higher frequency. Like, you're only doing it for the payback, but also at the same time, it's all bullshit. You're talking about sending people fucking good vibrations, bro. Like, this isn't fucking Burning Man. Like, you're sitting in a studio that you probably spent way too much money on trying to produce music, and then just feeding people your psychobabble bullshit. I didn't stop laughing for minutes and minutes.
For minutes and minutes. No, I get it, you know. At our core, we're all very selfish human beings. I'm going to think about you and send you thoughts and prayers every night, just in the hope that my life is a little bit better. I don't care about your life. You can have those hopes and prayers. I just want the good times.
Yeah.
That's all. I want nothing but good times.
That shit absolutely blew my mind when I heard it.
Oh. But,
What?
you know, I guess he's trying to be nice.
Is he though?
Like, he is. Yeah. My happiness is paramount, you know? Like, there is nothing more important in the world than my happiness.
Uh-huh.
Because if I'm happy, more often than not, the people that surround me are happy. And not because I'm just, like sending out all my good vibes. I just mean, like, if I'm in a good mood and there's people around me, more often than not, I'm going to be nicer to them.
Yeah.
I'm going to make them feel better, you know? So I think
Yeah.
you've got to be a little bit selfish that way. Like, you've got to think that you are more important than everyone else. Because really, that's all you got, you know, is yourself. If you don't have that, then
It starts within.
whatevs. Yeah, something like that. Basically, now this is a pyramid scheme podcast. So, I am the most important. Pay me more money and I'll tell you why. And then you can tell your friends why that is the way it is.
And now we get to tell everyone about our Patreon. Sign up for the Patreon today.
Imagine. Not yet. We will sell out eventually.
Eventually.
I don't know. Imagine someone paid us for this bullshit. That'd be so funny. I would honestly stop trying so hard on here. I would just be laughing, thinking,
you don't.
there's people giving me money.
Do you think you try hard? You don't
I try harder
we,
than I want to.
We don't try hard on this. We're not doing anything. We're sitting here.
I show up.
Is that? Well, I suppose that is, a lot to take.
It is. I cleared my schedule for this, you know. Like every week, religiously. Just I do
What
nothing
else
on
would
this
you be
one
doing?
night. Oh man, I'm a really busy guy.
Right.
You know.
'Kay.
I just have stuff always going on.
I just have so
Loads of,
many
like,
things.
I got lots of like money making schemes, you know, like pay me some money, I'll tell you more about them.
Sign up today and I'll tell you all about it.
I would love to start a pyramid scheme. I don't know what it'd be on though. I remember one time we had a client come into the shop. He's an old client, he doesn't come in anymore.
Yeah.
And he was like talking about how he was like self-employed and a business owner and entrepreneur. He used that word and I hated him for it. And I was like, so what is it? He's like, oh, it's like some sort of like skincare thing. I was like, oh, fucking sick, cool. I was like, oh, do you like make the products yourself? Do you like, is it like all like funded through you kind of thing? And he was like, no, I get it off of a company who send it to me and then I distribute it throughout like my employees and they sell it on. And I was like, oh, like a pyramid scheme then? And he was like, no, it's not a pyramid scheme. I was like, bro, that's a pyramid scheme.
Yeah,
like you buy from one person
Yeah.
and then you disperse to the other people who have paid you for that.
Yeah.
pyramid scheme. And he was pretty offended by it. He
really?
came in a couple of times, like, afterwards, and I was like, I kind of like said the same thing. I was like, I don't think it's a daft thing. Like, I'm not like shitting on you, like your money making, like whatever. Get that paper. Like,
Yeah.
it is what it is. As long as no one's getting hurt, And if they are, make sure they ask for it. Like that's the way I look at it.
Consent.
You can make money in any sort of way as long as it's all good on every side.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he took real offence to it, which I kind of understand.
I think
Pyramid scheme is
they've got a bad rap, so people might get
they
offended.
do.
They've got a bad rap, but I don't know enough about them. All I like, my definition of a pyramid scheme is like Avon. Surely Avon is a pyramid scheme. Was he selling Avon? Was that what it was? Did he try and sugarcoat it?
I'll ask my mum.
Oh, did your mum sell
My
Avon?
mum sells Avon.
Amazing.
Aye. She fucking loves it as well. Gives her something to do, it's class. It's been a long year. So now she sells skincare.
Yeah. I've known so many people in my life that do it.
If anyone wants anything, let me know and I'll pass on a message.
You're gonna take some commission from that?
We out here hustling,
Technically,
like,
technically it's my
it's just-
sale. Did it through the podcast. We'll set up a banner and shit. Fuck.
she can be a partner.
That's the way to go, man. Absolutely.
Speak to my financial advisor.
Oh my god, man. Jesus.
Redonk. You're coughing a lot tonight already.
I know,
You alright?
man. I don't know what's going on.
You
man.
got the vid?
No, I had to do a test yesterday, actually.
Did you do one today?
No.
Continually do them.
Just every 4 seconds. Take another goddamn test. No, we all had to take one yesterday because we were like, the fucking last episode we were like, oh, everything's starting to fucking open back up, things are going back to normal, and then Glasgow just went fucking nowhere. The rest of Scotland opened up, and then us in like one island somewhere fucking stayed closed. But our area is like supposedly really fucking bad. Like we're the bad people. We've been doing it really bad.
You can get your vax now though.
Yeah, we're getting our first dose. Emma's getting hers next week, and then I'm getting mine in like fucking 3 weeks. See, because that bitch has got like fucking 13 months on me. She got hers so much earlier than me.
That's amazing.
Fucking furious. So we all get tests sent to us being like, yo, check yourself. Make sure you're all good. But it came back negative. Like, we don't fucking go out. Do you know what I mean? I dropped Lynn off at school.
That's true.
And then I come home and I work, and then I turn my computer off, and then I watch fucking Dexter, and then go to sleep. Like, I don't do anything. We don't go anywhere. We don't fucking socialize or anything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like,
No.
it's I'm just getting to that point now where it's like, I don't want to listen to what the government and stuff are saying anymore, because I just get really bummed out when it doesn't happen. So I'm actually at the point now where I'd just rather not know. Just like, yo, see in like a 6 months time, let me know what's happening. Like, you set yourself up and you get stoked and you're like, fuck man, everything's going to start opening back up, and then just like one thing turns around and you just like, me and Emma, we just felt so fucking let down, It's just like, oh, we're finally getting out. And like, we had to go to a wedding at the weekend, and we were like, fuck. Me and Emma had like a full blown fucking like scream fit in here at each other, because we properly fell out about it, because we were like, don't know if we can go. It wasn't like neither of us were being shit. It was just like we both got really stressed out, and it turned into a proper tizzle. We didn't speak to each other until like the next day and shit. But it was like, neither of us were mad at each other. We were just mad at the situation, and we were stressed about shit. But we contacted the hotel and stuff that were holding it, and they were like, no, it's fine. Like, you're still permitted to come up. Like, you still fit within the rules that has been laid out by the government, as much as the area you're coming to is in a different level from you. Like, it's fine. Don't worry about it. So we kind of we're like stressed about it, but still fucking went, because it was like one of our closest friends were getting married, and it was like all an outdoor ceremony and shit. And
Yeah.
but it's just that I think that was probably that might if that didn't happen, that probably would have fucking broke us. Do you know what I mean? It's like if we couldn't actually get to
Yeah,
that
go and
wedding.
let off some steam.
Yeah.
Like that, because let's face it, that's what it's coming down to now.
Yeah.
Is, like you guys have been working through this entire thing. You've obviously got the kids and all that kind of stuff. One of the greatest parts of working is not working. You know, like you get to your weekends, you get to your holidays and stuff, and you're like, do you know what? I can't wait to do whatever I want to do.
Yeah.
So now, like, for the past year, you've not been able to do that because obviously there's been restrictions like all over the shop.
Yeah.
So like you're pent up a little bit, you know, like everyone's just looking forward to doing something.
Yeah.
It's really tough, man. Like I'm very similar to you in like the respect that I don't really listen much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
My other friend Craig, he every time there's an announcement or anything that changes, he almost sends me through like a bullet point thing of what I can and can't do, and I'm like,
Right.
chest kiss,
Right.
fucking
Okay.
perfect. Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I need. But it's just like different scale, you know. Like me and Shanna had a booking for like the Gate in town,
Mhm.
that fancy cocktail bar that we fucking love, and I was just looking forward to going there and just like seeing how many cocktails I could drink in 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like, because last time I went, I think I spent like over 100 quid just for the two of us. And like last time I went, like I was still definitely trying to impress.
Yeah. You were fucking swishing that cash around, boy.
Oh man, I gave them a 25 quid tip at the end of the night.
Of course you did.
But you know what? They fucking deserve it. They're such a great bar.
Yeah.
Like, it's so cool. Like, we were just sat there drinking these real fancy cocktails. And, like, just over, like, the speakers, I could hear, like, the Far Side playing. I was like, cool, man. This is the vibe. It was just, like, 90s hip-hop. And I was
Yeah.
like, this is fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like, it was just cool. It's a cool place. Like, it's in the middle of the barras. It doesn't look like it should be there. But it's class. I absolutely love it. My friend Danny works there. He used to sing in Number Then.
Yeah.
He does the menus and shit, and he's real good at his job. He's really fucking interested in booze, and I get more interested in booze because of him. Because every time he posts something, I'm like, that looks delicious. What is it?
Yeah.
Oh, don't know what that is. How much is it? Oh, not paying that. Way too much. But I'll come to your fancy bar, and you can make me one.
Yeah. As long as you're doing all the work, man.
As long as you're doing all the work, I'll pay you for it.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
Yeah.
All good.
Yeah, I definitely was, man. It was just like the thinking of the opportunity of finally just breaking out of what we've had to do and what everybody's had to do for nearly a year and a half. You know, it was just getting to go and do something that was familiar but not familiar. Because I mean, like, me and Emma, we're not big drinkers particularly. We don't really drink a lot. Like, I will maybe have a can or two, but we don't really get steaming. Like, we don't get drunk. Because I mean, we all know what happens when fucking Emma gets drunk. Turns into absolute carnage. So, but that happened again. Do you know what I mean? We were at this wedding. We were like, not getting any kids, man. Don't really need to worry about anything. And then, so we there was like the kind of the dinner bit, and the father of the bride did like they need to do like the speech and stuff. So he got said a couple of things. Everybody, you know, being polite, you know, giving him a clap and that. And at the end of it, it was like, oh, by the way, it's a free bar tonight. And the whole it was like fucking, it was like Woodstock. You know what I mean? Everybody
Shut
fucking
up.
everybody on their feet. Yeah. So fucking Jimi Hendrix had just walked on stage. This is a room full of people from, like, you're either from Port Glasgow, Greenock or Campbelltown, and they all love their drink. Do you know what I mean? So everybody's like, fuck.
Oh my god.
Even the fucking Waynes that are like 3 that are there, fucking morning, get the fucking shots out, boys. So there was like fucking shots of what's that horrible shit, that green shit, Maduri, and then there's like
Oh, Maduri.
Every
yes.
type of shot was getting thrown out from this. The people that worked there were honestly amazing because you could tell that they've been quiet for so long. And there's been
Yeah, I bet,
nobody
man.
there. And that, like, some of the people that were working there were like doing shots with us and shit because they were just like,
Shut
"Fucking
up.
yes!" Do you know what I mean?
That's so sick. That's amazing, man.
So it was a proper blowout. And it was just so nice to just like fucking do something that was just so different to what we've all dealt with for so long, you know. It was just I'll be reminiscing about that for fucking months now, because I mean, I can't tell you the next time we'll be. Oh, well, I mean, it'll be fucking Sammy Boy's wedding, won't it?
What, next year?
Yeah, that'll be the next blowout I have. I tell you right now.
Oh yeah, next blowout you have for sure. I've not been to a wedding like in a while. Don't remember the last wedding I was at.
Johnny and Sasha's.
No, I was at a wedding after that. Yeah, I was at a wedding after that. I think it was the same year actually.
Right. Okay.
But that was down south, and it was a different vibe.
Yeah.
I was very awkward about the entire situation because I was sober.
Yeah.
As I spoke to this girl all night, she was just at the wedding. She was like the plus one of my ex's friend.
Right.
And she was so much fun. She was class. So she was a stripper, but she was like a nurse or a nursing student.
Nice.
And she was just having the best time. I watched her make a young boy fall in love with her. Like, cause she knew what she was doing,
Yeah.
you know. She was a really good-looking girl, and she was just like whispering in his ear and stuff. And I was just like, this young boy thinks he's getting something.
Yeah.
But she's just told me that she's got like a son and a man at home, and she's just here to have fun. And I was like, this is class.
Yeah.
Like fully class. They went outside together and then came back in, and she was wearing his jacket. Like she sat back down next to me, and he was at the other end of the table.
Yeah.
And I just kind of looked at her and I was like, you don't have a jacket with you, do you? And she was like, no. She was like, you were just cold outside, weren't you? And you're like, yeah. I was like, I fucking knew it. You saw him wear a big massive pea coat and you thought, I'm having that. It'll be warm outside. Honestly, it was insane. Like, this young boy must have been, I don't know, I think he was like 19 or 20, and this girl, can't even remember her name. I think she was like, I don't know, like ages with me, maybe a couple of years older.
Uh-huh.
So she knew what she was doing.
Yeah.
She was telling me some wild stories. Like, it was insane. But power to her. She knew what she was doing.
Yeah.
It was class.
Yeah.
But yeah, that wedding was weird. Just because I was sober and I was like, I don't know what's going on. I hadn't been to a wedding like that. I didn't know people at, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, so the wedding before that was Johnny and Sasha's, and it was a great time because I knew literally every single person in the room.
Yeah.
And then I go to this other wedding and I'm like, oh, I know like 5 people. There's like 100 odd people here. Oh my god, this is so awkward.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to Sammy's, is what I'm saying.
Oh,
I can't wait to go and just be surrounded by, again, everyone I know, and then like the parts of Sammy's family I don't know.
yeah.
And then I get to make a fool of myself. Because we've already had this conversation where we're going to have like half bottle of bucket each before the ceremony.
For sure. Like, we're
I am
we're
for
showing
sure
up.
going to get Sammy's dad so crunk. It's going to be insane. Me and the big man are going to be outside just puffing on cigars. We're going to be having a great time. I'm like, Aldo,
Yeah, man.
your baby boy's made it. Can you believe it? And he's just going to not be able to give me one single word. I want to get him that drunk.
I think he's up for it, man.
I reckon he is.
I think he would be game. I feel like he's the kind of guy. He's quite calm. He's quite to himself. He's quite confident. But I feel like he's the kind of guy where all you need to do is you just put a shot down in front of him and you just give him a look.
Yeah. But then I say, also what's your credit card number? Because you have more money than me. Like, you're buying. I'm gonna get you drunk, but you're paying.
I'm gonna get you drunk with your money.
It's a victimless crime, man. You know, it's all good.
What?
I've got another wedding this year. That'll probably be the first wedding that I go to where, again, I know a lot of people.
Mhm.
I probably won't make a fool of myself at that one.
Probably.
But probably I might. You never know. You never know.
Do I know
I might have one wee Van Rouge too many, and then I'm fucked.
Gonzo?
Yep. Somebody's getting called a slag. Is what's happening. Like someone I don't even know.
You're just calling yourself it in the mirror. You fucking
Yeah.
slag.
Exactly.
Do I know the
it's
people?
I think you do. Jack Sullivan
Yeah.
used to
Yeah.
play in world famous Sterling metalcore band Burn
BTS.
the Sunset.
BTS, you mean the
B-
K-pop band?
Yeah, the K-pop band from Sterling. Yeah, BTS. No, I can't wait. I truly love Jack more than most people.
Yeah.
And he's one of these people that I don't speak to very often. I only see him nowadays when I cut his hair.
Uh-huh.
He like travels through to Glasgow for it early in the morning on a Saturday.
What a guy.
And like he just like we just chat and it's like the same patter he's had for like the last 10 years. He's just never changed and it's honestly one of my favourite things. I just love how like true to himself he is, you know. He's just like,
very
this is what I find funny and you will now laugh at it.
yeah. He's very unapologetically himself. I think
Aye.
that's why I mean I didn't know him very well, but I was always very drawn to him when I did see him because he is just like I don't really give a shit. I'm just gonna do what I'm doing, and I'm gonna.
And
He's a
he's a ball of energy too, you know.
Yeah.
Like he was always the loudest in the room, but also didn't really say much. Like he's an anomaly of a human being, an actual enigma. He's great. He's great, man.
He's some boy.
It makes me feel weird. Like all my friends are getting married and stuff now.
Yeah. Why does it make?
Like
Why does it
you,
make you
the-
feel weird?
I don't know, cause I'm older than most of them, and I'm like, I keep like looking back and I'm like, should I have done something else? Like, what's happened?
No.
Like, and I know that life moves at different like speeds for everyone,
Uh-huh.
but you know, you have those moments where you're just like, did I fuck it up? Did I do something wrong?
I think we
You know?
all know. I think we all know the answer to that. The answer is no. Of course you didn't.
No,
Of course you
not.
didn't.
What's for you won't go by, you know, that kind of stuff.
Not even doing
Um,
that whole fucking noodle soup, chicken soup, whatever it is for the soul bullshit. Like, you just like everybody's lives are so different. This is something that like it gets on my nerves if I'm being honest. But I try and not let it because it's a dumb thing to be annoyed at. I see when people kind of go like, "Oh man, can't believe like you've got 2 kids and you've got a wife. Like you just seem to have your shit together." I'm just like, how does those things equate having my shit together? It's like you don't know how much I am hanging on by a thread. Just because I've got kids and a wife doesn't mean that I have any kind of shit together. It's that
But it's the
value
American
system
dream,
that we
innit?
have.
Like it's yeah.
But I'm Scottish, man. I don't give a fuck. Don't give a fuck.
Ah, keeping
Let's
up
go,
with the
bro.
Joneses, whatever you want to call it, you know, like it's the way that everything has been laid out for years and years and years before us.
Yes.
You know, it was always you get the job, you get married, you get the kids,
Yep.
you blah 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 blah. That's just the way that people do things, and it's definitely instilled in all of our minds.
Yeah.
Not so much yours because you are the most punk rock human being of all time, and like you just don't do anything by the book, you know.
Yeah. But
Like
if you were to look at the book of me, then it would be like, well, he must have. On paper, I went by the book because I do have the kids and the wife and shit. But it's like, if I don't know what it is. It all comes down to like, for me, it came down to when I met Emma.
right.
Like, I truly believe, and I've had this conversation with her, where if Emma hadn't come into my life at the point that she did, because I knew who she was before we started seeing each other. And there was actually a point in time where it could have happened earlier. Something could have happened earlier between us, and it didn't.
Oh damn.
And I genuinely think that if it had happened at that point, this wouldn't be my life right now. I don't think that it would have been right for either of us at that point in time. I genuinely
Yeah.
think that the two of us came into each other's lives at a really weird time that worked so well, and it has made it work for so long, because we've been together for like 8 years this year.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like I've been with her for 8 years. Do you know what I mean? I'm still learning
You're
shit about her.
You're starting to sound like a bad 2000s rom-com, man. Like,
I don't give a fuck.
you,
Matthew McConaughey turned down this role that I am doing right now because he didn't want to do rom-coms anymore. Right?
that's true.
Genuinely, it was like we were both in limbo. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it just kind of, I randomly messaged her on Tumblr, and now we've been married for 6 years. But I think it does come down to that. A lot of it does come down to just preference at the end of the day. Like, because I never would have thought that I would. I mean, like, up until I did actually get married, there was a part of me that was like, I don't know if I will get married. I don't
Yeah.
know if that is for me. And
Yeah.
that's not a bad thing to believe. That's not a bad thing to see for your future. I don't understand the value system that we have in our society where you're only valued as a human being that has made it if you get married and have children and do the normal thing. That really gets to me, because people will go against their better interests, and they will go against what they actually want to do to fit into that mold, to fit into that idea of making it as a human being. And then
course,
eventually they realise the mistake they've made, and then they're fucking miserable for their entire life because they didn't do what made them feel right. They did what they had been told was right.
Yeah. Either that, or then they get to that point and they 180 completely, and they become like an absolute wreck of a human being. You know, like they're like, oh, these are all the things I missed out on. I'm gonna do all of them.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's also dangerous.
That was a big rant.
It was a big
I need
rant.
to cool off a little bit now.
Man, you're the guy that got married. Let's not get fucking upset at everyone else. Jeez. You had the kids. You did everything, you know? You're the one with the corporate job. Jesus.
I'm the one in thousands of pounds worth of debt and is still renting their home at nearly 30. I'm doing good, man. All good.
It's the American dream, baby, you know?
It's fucking...
You came to this country with nothing but good times, you know? Like, you had nothing else.
That's all it
You're
is.
like, I'm here for the good times.
I'm here for the good times. I'm here for the vibes, bro. I'm here to send people good thoughts, good frequencies, so I can get myself to that higher frequency. That's all I'm here for, man. I'm sending people good vibes. I'm sending them blessings. And I'm just waiting for myself to reap the rewards of when everybody's sending them back to me.
Oh, you're such a self-righteous cunt. I hope you know it.
Yup.
Yup.
Forever and ever.
But yeah, it does make me feel weird. Like, obviously, I'm just about to tick off one step of the completing life game.
Yep.
Where I bought a house,
Woofed.
but everything else doesn't seem like it's like I'm there. You know, I was actually talking. Like, me and Shanna were talking about this the other day.
Mhm.
And we were talking about how, like, when we were kids, we were like, oh, by the time I'm 30 years old, I'm going to have it all,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I'm going to really understand shit. And here I am, 28 years old, and I get upset with a man for not telling me things that I need to know. I'm like, why? Why can't you just tell me the things I need to know?
You talking about Jesus again?
Nah, I'm talking about that fucking prick of a mortgage advisor. I hate him so much, man.
It's nearly over, man.
It's nearly over. I can't wait to never talk to this prick ever again.
I mean, I can understand where your feelings come from. Like, we have been brought up, and like we said, we have been brought up in a world where that you need to do the things that we're told to do, and we need to follow the things
Yeah.
that we're meant
Well,
to follow.
this is-
But you do. When
this
you're
is
a
the
kid,
other
though,
thing.
Man, when you're a kid, you do have, like, I mean, I remember looking at people who were my age when I was a kid, being like, "Oh my god, they're fucking old." But it's like you actually get to this age, and you're
Yeah.
like, "Oh man, I'm not actually that old." I don't actually know.
No,
I don't know when
fucking
I'm gonna
talk
feel
like
old.
a baby half the time.
A baby.
A baby. Like, yeah, like I don't know when I'm right. I feel old, okay? I feel like an actual old man.
Yeah.
But I am not there. But that's just because I'm a grumpy bastard.
Yeah.
Like I'm super grumpy. I look at young people and I go, ugh, why?
TikTok.
Like every time. I can't help it. Like I'm just like, no. No. You don't know a thing about the world that I know.
Yeah.
You know? And then I'm like, I get back home and I'm like, what am I doing? Like, what is actually happening? But I look at, like, I don't know, I look at these kids and I'm just like, you look at me as if I've got something, you know?
Yeah.
Like, even just the students whose hair that I cut, like, a lot of the students that I cut the hair of first and second year at uni, so they're what, like, 18, 19,
Yeah.
20 sometimes?
Yeah.
So, like, and, like, they'll book, like, the first appointment in the morning and they're like, oh, I'm so sorry for getting you out of bed, man. And I was like, oh, would have been here anyway, bro. Like, this is the shift.
This is my job.
And then they're like, oh, what time are you in until? And I'm like, oh, 6 o'clock. And like, oh, that's such a long day. And I'm like, oh, son, you're going to have a hard life. Like, if you think that the normal times that people work is a hard time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big man.
Big man.
Big man. You're in trouble.
But
You're in real trouble.
we all had that pure naivety when we were kids, and when we were that young. I mean, I didn't go. I went to uni for 1 year when I was like hella older. I didn't go uni at like the prime time when you're supposed to go uni. I didn't go to college or anything. I finished the final year of high school and I went straight into a job. But I went straight into a job that was a proper fucking cakewalk. Like my fucking, oh my god, this is pure take me back. My first job, Jesus, my first job was to sit in an office with no windows. Right, it was practically a dungeon that we worked in. It was in Brigton, so you know all about dungeons when you're working or coming for Brigton.
Yeah, my fucking hood.
Yeah, I can't even remember the name of where it was, so I could like try and give you a frame of reference. But this place had no windows. It was like a fucking giant like shutter door you had to go through to get into it. It was like straight out of fucking Resident Evil. That's every day you're starting in like barren wasteland. I mean, there was a good fucking burger van next to it, so everything was fine. So no windows, you walk in the place, punch a code in to get in the door, and I sat at a desk and I literally took big massive piles of paper from here and put them into a machine over here, and then hit a button on a computer and waited for all the pieces of paper to go through the machine. And the computer scanned them and made them electronic, and then I gave those electronic files to another guy I worked with, and then they went on from there. That was my job for like 6 years. I was just like ka-dunk, ka-dunk, ka-dunk. Like,
That's insane.
it was like, looking back at it, it was the easiest fucking job. The easiest fucking job. Like,
Yeah.
it evolved into more. I ended up looking after the warehouse and shit, and I ended up doing fucking projects for like the NHS and shit. So it was pretty cool. Like, it did get a little bit bigger, but essentially the essentials of my job, if you were to look at the job role, was take the paper from there, put it there, press the button. You're done. Go home for the day.
They only paid you because they hadn't invented that robot yet. Like that is what happens there. Oh my goodness.
And they just like watched me for 6 years being like, right, we've nailed it. We'll just mimic everything this guy does. So there's like a long-haired, scrawny robot somewhere in Cambuslang now scanning bits of paper, and like an old B&B that's just replaced me just listening to fucking Circus Survive on loop, because that's all I listened to when I was working there. That's all I did. It was just headphones on. It was like Circa Survive, or it was like fucking what other bullshit did I listen to? The Chariot fucking playing. I'm just sitting there like actual rocking in my chair like I was an insane person, fucking waiting for my paper to go through the machine. And the guy behind me trying to talk to me, and I'm just like, nah mate, no the day, pal. I was like, oh man. I did love that place. Because it was like you had to be insane to work there. Because it was so mundane. But because we were all insane, it was so much fun to work there. Because there was a guy that worked there. His name was Steven. But for 4 years, I worked there for 6 years. So until the final 2 years I was there, I didn't know his name was Steven. I called him Hank for 4 fucking years.
Jesus Christ.
And then I found out that his name was Steven. And I was like,
Did you have a reason for thinking he was called Hank? Or you just
everyone,
like that was the name
everyone called him Hank. Everyone called him Hank. I was like, that must be his name. Why would I think otherwise? Everybody called him Hank. And then one day...
It's a good theory. I like that.
One day... Well, I can't remember how it was, but he was just like... I think he had something on his desk that was like a letter or something. I was like, who the fuck is Steven? He's like, it's me, mate. Matt. No, it's no.
You're Hank? What are you talking about?
So I called this motherfucker for Hank for 4 fucking years, not realising that wasn't his actual name. So right away, he was insane. He is the minute he got paid. So we got told when we get paid by like the person who paid us coming down the stairs and being like, by the way, your wages are in. The second that happened, he was out the door and he ran to the nearest like bank or hole in the wall and took all of his money out of his account. Like
what?
Every fucking penny. And then he handed it to his missus to go and pay the bills and shit. Like
was he just like reckless and he would like not trusted to have that money?
I think it was like he gave the money to pay the bills, so probably it was like a trust thing, like you're going to blow your money. And he kept like a pot of money for himself, literally just to go to the off license down the street and buy as many bottles of Buckfast as he could that week.
Hank, what a guy.
Honestly, it was so insane. So insane. That's the thing that I do miss about working in places like that, is you just meet the most fucking incredibly mental people. And like by the time I left that place, we had this big warehouse where we stored like all the paper. So if it was waiting to get scanned, or we were holding it for someday, or we were waiting for it to get destroyed or whatever. And then by the time I had left, half of it was being rented out to like a what's that thing that we watch on? You can watch on the telly. It's like the fucking American Pickers.
Yeah.
So it was like a warehouse that American Pickers would come into. So there was like stuffed deer and like old car parts and shit like all over this warehouse. But the people who were like renting the warehouse from my boss who owned the warehouse, they didn't actually care about the stuff that was there. So you would just like walk in one day and they had just thrown more shit into this fucking...
What?
It was fucking mental. There was definitely like a deer's head, like a stuffed deer's head. And then there was like it looked like a fucking hyena or some shit. Like life-sized. It must have been from like an old museum or something. And I didn't realise it was there. So I'm fucking driving about in my wee forklift trying to get a pallet down from a fucking shelf. And I turn around and I think a dingo's going to fucking eat me. Because this thing's just standing... It's fucking like standing at the end of the fucking runway, and I didn't fucking realise it was there. Oh man.
Oh no.
It was insane. It was so insane.
I've never really had a job like that though. Like I would love to have had a job like that. The only job that I've had that was similar to that was working in the hotel.
Yeah.
Because hotels are weird places.
Already.
Like let's just break it down. It is a building you pay money to sleep.
Yeah.
What?
But anybody can pay that money to sleep there. That's
yeah,
the kicker.
anyone can pay that
If
money.
you have that money, you can
It's-
stay. Doesn't matter who you are.
It's weird.
Yeah.
So I like worked the event side of things, and I was a waiter, and I never really got to meet many people like out and about, like customers.
Right.
They were there, and I took their orders, and then they gave me stonking tips because I was class at my job. But
Stonks.
the stonks. The people that worked there were so strange. Mainly students. A lot of them were like nursing students, so they had like been on placement and stuff for like 12 hours prior to coming in to do this
Fucking hell.
12-hour shift at the hotel.
Yeah.
Like, they were just nutso, and they were all from the islands and stuff,
Right.
you know, or the like, islands and highlands. They were all fucking mad. And like I loved those people, you know, because they were just batshit.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them for a long time lived on the islands and in the highlands and didn't really see the city much.
Yeah.
You know, so like they came to the city and everything was there. They were like, "Oh, gonna do all of it at once." It was insane, man. Like
Entertainment.
Yeah, I remember like so I used to work events, but then a lot of times I would go on to do night shift right after. So I'd start at 2 p.m.
Uh-huh.
and then I'd work till 2 a.m. in the event side of things, and then I'd go on to do night shift, which was on until 7 a.m.
It's so gross.
But I worked like 34 hours in 2 days, you know.
Yeah.
Like I worked like someone's full working week in 2 days. So, but there was this fucking guy, Kevin. Jesus Christ, I'll never forget him. He was so shite at his job.
Yeah.
He was the worst, and he just worked night shift, like, because no one wanted to let this creature to speak to normal people. And he would just like he would do all these tasks, but he would do them like really slowly or shitty.
Right.
So he would never really get asked to do them again.
Yeah.
But
Classic.
it was only him and one other boy who fucking worked there. So they always did like they did every job all the time,
Yeah.
just bad. And like whenever I was working with him, he was like, "If I showed you this," and he'd take out his phone and he'd like show me a video of his grandson, like air guitaring to AC/DC, and I was like, "Aye, Kev, you showed me this before." I still don't care. And he was just always greasy, always oily. I was just like, "What's wrong? Like, get some better skincare. Like, what the fuck is this?" And then there was the other old guy that worked there called Callum. Kevin and Callum, what a team.
Yeah.
The staff night out was Callum's big blowout. Always.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
So like the entire hotel was there apart from like the managers. The managers always worked the bar and stuff and were your waiters that night because we worked for them for all that year. So
It's pretty cool.
they
actually. Yeah.
yeah, it was nice. It was nice of them to do it. They still got paid, so whatever. Like it is what it is. So after the staff nights out, like we'd always end up going to like the casino or something.
Uh-huh.
I remember this one year we were walking up Sucky Hall Street, heading towards a casino that used to be up on Sucky Hall Street. And Callum, I don't even know what age Callum was. He could have been early 40s. He could have been late 60s. Like there was no real grasp on his actual age.
Yeah.
And I just remember him walking up the road in front of us and stopping and turning around. And he goes, "I've got the fags, I've got the drugs. Where's the fucking party?" And we were just looking at him. We were like, "We are going to the casino for another couple of drinks. Don't know where you're going." Like he came with us, and obviously like he ditched the drugs and all that before we got to the casino.
Uh-huh.
But he was like, I don't even know what he was doing, but he was just sweating the entire night. I was like, that shirt was white when you first arrived. It's now see-through. Like, what are you doing?
It's like a mesh tank top.
But yeah, and he would always just be like dancing and stuff, and then you'd see him the next night at work because we'd have to work the next day
Yeah.
because hotels are evil.
Horrible.
And he'd always just be like right back to like his normal grumpy self, and I was like, oh, so that last night was just a one-off.
Yeah.
Just a one-off that you were fun.
Yeah.
Insane.
He comes out to play once a year. He's like the
Yeah,
boogeyman.
I do miss the hotel, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Like I loved working there because you just got to make money and do a job. It wasn't easy. Being a waiter is not an easy job. Like, I don't care what anyone says. You're on your feet all day. You're having to deal with absolute assholes. You have the arm strength that I amassed when I worked in the hotel was unreal. You know, like just lifting like empty glasses like on this tray. I was like, "Rah, come on!" But like, I missed it because it was so fast paced.
Yeah.
Like you would start at 2 p.m. and then before you knew it, you were going home.
Yeah.
It was we called it like job and finish, because the job lasted for as long as it lasted, and then you went home.
Mm-hmm.
There was no real like end time. There was no shift.
Mm-hmm.
Like you'd go in, you'd get the briefing for what the night was. They would tell you when dinner was being served, when they expected this, that, and the next thing, if there was going to be speeches and all that kind of stuff. And you'd all be standing there waiting, just going, "Fucking please tell me it's a midnight finish. Please tell me it's a midnight finish." And then they'd be like, "And the bar's open till 2 a.m. And you're like, "Oh, no, can't I believe it?" And you'd end up there till 3 a.m., you know, like, because you had to tidy up the entire place, you had to do all the glasses, you had to make sure there was the right amount of stock for the next day.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a nightmare. But it was also class. Like there was, because you were all doing the same shitty job, you all had this, like, real, like, us and them mentality.
Brothers in arms.
Yeah, it was class. Like, everyone did everything for everyone else. If you saw someone struggling with a table, it was like, you'd whip round and you'd get the glasses all cleared and you would just do stuff, because that was just the way you did it.
Yeah.
Like, at the time, most of the people who worked there were students. I was a student. I was studying to do hair. And everyone was just a little bit stressed, and anything we could do to make everyone not feel as stressed was good.
Yeah.
I still see some of the people, like a couple of people live around about me.
Oh, really?
That work there, and I ignore them so hard. I was like, that time of my life is over. Therefore, you are dead to me.
You mean nothing to me. But
you are nothing.
I think everybody needs to have a job like that. You know, that job that just, like, you just find your chops, you know? Like, you just, you need to be in a job where you get to deal with, like, insane people. It's a weird job. Like,
yeah, you need a job that kind of instills a bit of character building in you, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
and it will
you
set
need to,
you
like,
up.
come out of it on the other side. Yeah, you need to come out the other side and be like, I'm going to be nothing like you when I grow up, you know?
But
you need jobs like that.
yeah, man. I mean, like, you. How long were you at the hotel for?
3 years.
3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to be there for a while. I mean, I definitely stayed there too long. I stayed in that job for 6 years, but it was because it was like it was so comfortable. And then
for sure,
the first kid went and ruined it because I was like, I don't have any money. Cool, I need a job that pays me more. That's literally the only fucking reason why I left. See, if it wasn't for the fact that I was poor, I wouldn't have left that job.
Yeah,
because it was so easy and everybody was really fun. And I think that's like what holds you in places, is like the rapport and the relationships that you build. Like, it made me sad leaving that place, and in the last place I was in, I hated the job, but I loved the people, so I was actually still sad to leave. As much as it was like, I'm fucking miserable because of this job, it was affecting my mental health, and it was affecting the way I worked, and I didn't like that. I didn't like the fact that it was making my work ethic change because of the way I was being treated.
Yeah.
So I left for all the right reasons, but I was still like fucking bummed out when I left, because I had like actual mates, I had like actual people that I cared about in that place, you know? And I think that's really important.
Yeah.
I think that's really important to have in a workplace. I don't know where I'm going with this. I think I had somewhere I was going originally, and now it's just died.
Bring it home. Come on, you can do this. I believe
I'm
in
gonna
you.
knock it out of the park here. You ready? I don't know how to play baseball. I'm just swinging my arms around.
That's not how you play baseball. That's for sure.
I mean, I couldn't even play rounders as a kid. I always missed the ball. and I've definitely missed the ball on what I was trying to say because I don't know what I was going to say. Okay.
I love that. I love when it just disappears from you. I felt like that was going to be good. That was going to be the feel-good moment that this episode needed. I know you've fucking ruined it, so...
I have an actual goldfish memory. I start a point, and I feel amped up about the point that I start, and then halfway through what I'm fucking saying, the ending is gone. And then all of a sudden I'm talking about something completely different about, like, the can of juice that I bought from the shop in the morning. Like, I just lose the point entirely and ruin the entire episode. Well, you know what? We're at an hour, so I don't give a fuck. I've ruined the episode at the end, so who cares? Nobody's listening at this point. It's fine. Fuck it.
People are going to be so bummed out when they get here and they're just like,
That was all for nothing.
Yeah, sometimes... Oh, I'm going to try and finish it for you. Sometimes you need a job that makes you feel so shitty about doing it. But you build those nice relationships and friendships that makes you feel good about yourself going in there because you know that you're not the only one going through it. You know? I think you need to come out of that job to realise what you had. Because you never thought that at the time. You were in that job and you were like, right, I'm walking around this fucking hotel at 3 o'clock in the morning. I've just had to chap on this door and tell this boy to stop riding his girlfriend so hard because she's fucking screaming and the guest next door is complaining. Actual thing that happened. Because you're so in that moment that you need to be out of that moment to appreciate it.
Cool.
Anyway, this has been Dead End Friends. We'll catch you next week. Love you loads, man.
Love you too, man. I'm signing off properly because he will just bail on me, but I need to do all the things. Remember to like things, remember to follow things, remember to subscribe to things, remember to do things. We do love you very much. Gary has still not done the playlist that he promised 3 weeks ago, but we will get there at some point in life. I love you so much. Speak to you guys next week.